The fast pace in Mark's Gospel, as we read through it over these last number of weeks and towards the end of our year of reading Mark's Gospel, the fast pace of the Lord on the road to Jerusalem, and the relentlessness of that journey and the speed with which it's happening, and the disciples all being caught up in that drama, in that movement, in that relentless path towards the baptism which he has been baptized with, the chalice that he is going to drink. In it, then, we have this moment where the sons of thunder change the pace or perhaps get a different kind of momentum into the pace and drive the other 10 mad because they have the courage to enter deeply into the mystery of prayer. St. John Chrysostom, when he comments on this passage, says that the sons of thunder, their prayer is answered ultimately, because they become of the apostles some of the central ones. They will suffer greatly, they will preach widely, they will share the death of the Lord, being martyred. But their message, the message that they are witnessing, what they are witnessing to at this moment, they are able to bear witness to the ends of the earth. And so there's 3 things, I think, that this passage can teach us about our lives of prayer, learning from the sons of thunder. First thing is, if you want something, ask for it. The other disciples are angry with the sons of thunder, perhaps because they haven't had the courage to ask for what it is that they want: prime seats, special places in eternity. And each of us is here, present, attending, because we want prime seats in eternity. We'll ask for them then. Ask for the prime seats then. Pray that the Lord will change our hearts and make us able to drink from the chalice that he drinks. So the second thing in prayer is like a trigger warning. Be careful what you ask for, because the Lord might astound you by inviting you to share eternity. And that's awesome. What's the consequence of that? Embracing the cross so that we can live forever. And that's the third thing that we can learn about prayer: to embrace with all our hearts, with all our minds, with all our beings, what the Lord does in us when we ask him for something amazing and he responds in an amazing way, and things change beyond recognition. St. Augustine's letters on prayer to Proba, which we start to read now the next week or so in the Office of Readings, have that sense of where Augustine says, widen your heart, and allow something different to happen at the very, very center of your lives, so that our lives can be poured out in service of God in and through one another, in seeking to celebrate, recognize, and manifest that amazing change that is offered to us if we dare to ask for it. If we dare to ask for it in prayer, if we dare to embrace it when it comes, if we dare to constantly be ready to be changed by it. Today begins the diocesan phase throughout the world of the synod that was announced last week by the Holy Father in Rome. And so we enter into a period of the next 2 to 3 years, as it were, of deep listening Dare we ask that the Lord could use us, weak vessels, to change the hearts of other people, to change the minds of those who dwell in ignorance and error, to recognize that we ourselves walk in darkness and uncertainty. And we need to ask for light to be shed on that path. We need to have the courage to ask God to do something different and amazing in our lives. We need to be very clear what it is that we want and demand those seats in eternity. We need to be able to share that with one another. Too often, perhaps, we're like the 10 in the story who are indignant because God might do something wonderful in somebody else's life. That's not preaching, that's not ministry, that's not service. That's ignorance. And the answer to that ignorance is a renewal of prayer in our lives, which allows us to ask fervently and listen deeply and recognize the transformation that can come if we dare to ask